I'm speaking with Christopher Cox from Hershey. Christopher, what is your title? What do you do at Hershey, and how long have you been there?
Thanks for having me. I've been at Hershey for 2 years, and I am Global Digital Communications Manager. I specifically focus on paid digital media and managing the content, all of our owned digital properties. I used to manage social, but as my role has gone global in the last year, we've basically transitioned some of that work to our consumer engagement and brand public relations team.
I have so many questions I want to ask you. I think I'm going to start with, tell me some of the projects that you've been working on this year.
Yeah, and it's just, your excitement is what we get a lot. I mean, it's just amazing. It is fantastic to go to work every day with a company that makes people just genuinely so happy. People stop you in the airport, stop you in the mall, and just say, hey, do you work for Hershey? And
well, you have a beloved brand, whether it's digital or not. You guys have a beloved brand.
That's right. Iconic in nature, just something that people get excited about. It brings back great memories and creates memories. So that's really what we do. We try to harness that emotional connectivity to our brands and translate that to the digital space. Right. So we do a lot of work that is really engagement driven because we do want our consumers to carry the ball for us. Yeah. And it's amazing the loyalty and then the advocacy that they show. So that's what a lot of our work does, is really to, just to give that top of mind reminder. I was like, yeah, I could really use a peanut butter cup or a Hershey's Kiss right now. And then, oh, by the way,
always use a Hershey's Kiss.
Absolutely, if not several. And then, oh, by the way, let's go ahead and talk about it on Facebook or go to YouTube and post a video, show your love. How much do you love Kisses or a Hershey bar? Or, how do you make your s'mores? Because nobody makes a s'more the same way.
I love that. So tell me more about that. Are you doing crowdsourcing? Are you doing user-contributed videos? What kind of things are you doing?
We definitely are. User-generated content is definitely a part of our strategy because of that affinity. So we're in the process of setting up a bunch of YouTube channels for some of our more iconic brands, especially our baking brands too. So much of our revenue does come from not only Kisses and ready-to-eat products, but our baking chips and cocoa. We've really made a concerted effort over the last year to really drive online recipe behaviors, and as a result, we've seen about 30% sales growth in our cocoa products this year as a result of all the digital activation of it.
That's measurable. I mean, that's real.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that not only gets a brand manager completely stoked, but also gets his boss and gets the CMO excited.
You're exactly. The superstar right now.
Well, it's a team effort as always, and that's really, I work in a global shared services capacity, so an internal consultancy, and really what we try to do is partner with all of our brands, whether it be our US brands, whether there's 35 or 40 of those, or our international brands. We are very big in Canada, Mexico, Brazil on this side of the world, and in other emerging markets on the other side. We're really activating in China, India, and even in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates.
What's going on in some of those countries? How are you executing your strategy in China or around the world?
Yeah, well, we do try to go to market with global brands, but not all of our flavor profiles translate. So for example, Peanut Butter Cup, while $1 billion brand in here in the US, the Reese Peanut Butter franchise, doesn't necessarily translate to some of those other emerging markets. So when you think of a global brand, you think of certainly the Hershey bar, the Hershey chocolate franchise, and you think of Kisses. But the way we would go to market in Mexico is vastly different than how we would go to market in India, let alone Canada or the US. Even the paste that we use to make the Kiss is different in Canada than it is in the US, because the Canadian palate is a little bit more European. They like it more creamy and smooth. Right. So it's actually, if you've ever had one of our Symphony bars, which is a creamier milk chocolate, that's the exact chocolate that goes into Kisses and Hershey bar in Canada.
Interesting.
Little known facts of
it's fun that there
America's
are
favorite chocolate.
Flavors not only of your chocolate, but flavors of your digital strategy as you are getting to know these different audiences.
Yeah. And that's really, it's, the personalization, the customization is a big part of it. We don't want to be, we're a big company, but we don't want to use a cookie cutter approach because we're not really serving the end consumer, exactly, no pun intended, not serving the end consumer's needs that way. So really, when we look at our product in China or India, for example, that's a high-end luxury import American brand. But you go to a traditional trade retailer in India, in your attire, and you open a bag of Kisses and the school children come flocking over because that's a very significant treat for them, and to hand one Kiss into a child's hands and watch them light up like a Christmas tree. That's really a special moment, and that's when it really hammers you emotionally and says, wow, this is a really special company, and to be able to have that impact on an end consumer, that's pretty cool.
So how is that translating into digital in markets that are not as mature as, let's say, the North American market?
Well, we do it's about playing percentages and leveraging the strengths. So, if you had $1 like I had $1 for every time we heard this is the year of mobile in the US, we'd probably have a really nice dinner tonight. You have that penetration that's far greater in China or in India, and then just the scale, the population there. So if we can hit just even X% of that population that can, that is within our demographic range, that's incredibly large population. So we tailor that message, tailor those marketing efforts to the needs and that bullseye of where we're really trying to hit in those countries.
Cool. Now you've got a great product and great brand trust, but looking ahead, things are changing so quickly. What are the challenges that are coming up that you're trying to anticipate?
Well, the challenge is the digital landscape. It's it's like the ocean right here. It's always changing. So what strategies are in place and what we would want to go to market with today, several months down the line, are going to be different. So that's part of why we attend iMedia, and really staying on top of the trends, meeting the latest and best partners in the industry, networking, finding out about innovation, and that's the way that you do try to keep ahead of the curve, or at least on pace with it, because it does change so fast.
That's true, because Hershey is a loved company, but you want it to be the hip, cool, new loved company, not like, oh, Hershey.
You don't want to be your grandfather's or your grandmother's chocolate bar, exactly, and that's in general, children are eating less chocolate than they did, when you and I were of that same age. So, and a lot of that is smart. We are very much about our product being a balanced part of a healthy nutrition and wellness-oriented lifestyle. But, we still want to create those memories for families and, lifetime loyalty to the brand. It's always about being contemporary and being hip. So we see that relevancy and staying relevant to today's consumer through digital activation.
Cool. Okay, so finally, obviously you know how to create and extend a wonderful brand. Give me your number one piece of advice for other companies out there.
Well, leverage your equities. Every brand has a DNA and has a soul, and it has leverageable equities. So it's really take that and put it out there in a relevant and meaningful manner to your end audience. Be very overt. This is my target audience. This is what I want them to do, and therefore have that value exchange. Deliver value, and the value could be economic, it could be educational, like a recipe, or it could be simply entertainment, like the videos and the user-generated content that we put out there. So it's really about knowing your audience and delivering that value exchange. So again, they walk away from the online experience thinking, man, it's not only great tasting chocolate and sugar products, but it's a really cool company, and they want me to be in the inner circle with them and be part of their existence.
Right. Christopher, thank you very much.